Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. My name is Karen Bodenschatz, and I serve as Associate Pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin. And this is my morning musing. A few weeks ago, I finally went in to get my eyes checked. It had been 2 years since my last exam, mostly because the pandemic started right about the same time I was to go to my exam again, and I was faced with having to find a new eye doctor because mine moved to North Dakota. So I finally went, and I was really excited because I got to order a new pair of frames, and I was a little bit nervous because the prescription my doctor had prescribed was quite a drastic change from what it had been before. But my frames were pretty fantastic, so I was more excited than nervous. Then, a day later, on a Friday evening, I went hiking, and I put my glasses in my pocket because they were getting fogged up by my gaiter. I'm sure you all know what that's like because it was cold, but not as cold as it was now, but cold enough that I was wearing a gaiter. And I thought I had put my glasses firmly in the bottom of my very deep pocket so as to prevent me from inadvertently pulling them out of the pocket as I took gloves or the gaiter or my phone or my water out. But when I got home from my hike, I was trying to read my phone to see how far I had hiked, and I couldn't see the screen because my eyes are pretty bad without my glasses. And I reached for those beautiful green glasses that were no longer in my pocket. And despite doing the whole 2+ mile hike again, mostly by flashlight, I did not find my glasses. I was lucky enough to find an old pair of glasses still in the purse that I had put on the shelf way back in April when I stopped really going anyplace. But those glasses I had were the glasses I had before the ones I had lost, which were so incredibly different, not only from those, the green ones, but also from the prescription that my doctor had prescribed a few days before. And so the next week was miserable. My poor eyes didn't quite know what to do. It was hard to look at a screen for any length of time, and reading was nearly impossible. Eventually, though, my eyes began to adjust. They didn't tire as easily, they weren't nearly as bloodshot, and I could do quite a bit of screen time. That doesn't mean I wasn't ecstatic when the eye clinic called and said my new glasses were ready. I nearly skipped into the building to get them, only to experience the strangeness of drastically changed prescription glasses that are also progressives. Not a single perspective was correct. Still, nothing was quite right. Nearly a week later, and I'm still trying to figure out where to hold my phone, how far to sit back from a computer, where to put my head, and my eyes are tired by the end of the day. And I knew to expect this. My doctor warned me, and I love that I can actually see more clearly most times. However, I never gave it much thought when my doctor, she told me that it would take a week or so to adjust to this new, more drastic prescription. I'm telling you all this because I was pondering it last night as I was trying to do some work and had just finished what felt like the 900th Zoom meeting of the day. And it occurred to me that these new glasses and the story of my glasses saga was a good analogy for our work in anti-racism, or really any work we do to change ourselves and our culture. My original glasses, the ones I lost, they weren't terrible. Sure, things were looking a little blurry and screen time was a little hard on them, but at the end of the day, they only made me slightly uncomfortable. It's like when we're just becoming aware of something that's going to change our worldview or our perspective about something. Things are still okay, but maybe a little blurry or don't quite feel like they fit right. And at this point, we have some decisions to make. We can go back to an old way to see the world that was comfortable at the time. And while the adjustments are painful sometimes and disruptive, we seem to settle into that old way of things, the way they were, like I did with my old glasses. Or we can start to change the way we see. And while it also takes some adjustments and can be painful and disruptive, it actually leads to clearer vision and more possibilities. Kind of my transition to these glasses. And I guess this comes to mind because I've felt a little guilty about not keeping up with the 21-day challenge for racial equity as well as I had hoped. The reading and the writing that I had hoped to do around anti-racism by this point in 2021 has not come to fruition because my focus has been split. But that's life, really. And I had to ask myself, am I putting on old glasses and hoping they'll do the job of the new ones? What I realized as I thought about this last night is that no, I'm not. Some people do. This work is hard and it requires a lot of work, but it's also work that requires time and effort. And so many are fond of saying, and as so many are fond of saying right now, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And that's the work of anti-racism. It's a marathon. And sure, there'll be times when we'll be required to sprint, to pour everything we have in moving this conversation and work forward. But it is, for the most part, a marathon that requires steady work. It requires that we keep working to change the way we see ourselves and the world so that all may be equal in all ways. It means wearing those new glasses through the pain of adjustment, the perspective shifting, and the changing views until we see more clearly. If you started but haven't finished the 21-day challenge, don't lose heart. What was assigned each day is good stuff. Keep at it. You will still grow and learn, and the world will be better because you engaged. If you didn't start at all, for whatever reason, it isn't too late to do so. Print out the 21-day challenge. Take each time as you can, regardless of where you are. It's time to join the conversation, to grow in your understanding and deepen your faith, and maybe even see the world more clearly, to see the world as God sees it. I miss you all, and I wish we could do this work together face to face. But until we can, be well, be kind, for Christ is with you.